Hello out there. I'm Servant. I am Pisces. I kind of enjoyed myself today up here in Bricktown, you know, at Bourbon Street Cafe. Had a big old steak, and I really enjoyed it. Sitting there by the big moat, the canal, and I remember back in the before that was even built, back way before it was even built. Uh, they had come in and stripped out the inside of them. We had to go in there and put reinforcing on the walls so the brick walls wouldn't fall in. They was just great big empty structures. But they made a big profit out of it, I imagine. But anyhow, I heard I was sitting there today and talking to a little old gal that had been woke up, you know, and has been going through the same cycles. And here it is on the 27th of February. Happens to be my birthday, my steak today. But anyhow, the thing that had happened is that I noticed that she was of like mind. Her uncle and her converse a lot about all the same things that I talk about, which is kind of fortuitous. The same thing as like going to Kentucky and meeting a pagan. Understanding that guys, that get frustrated about what they hear on the Epstein files and all these videos and everything, you got to understand that if you know the CIA and the FBI and the other three-letter groups that nobody even knows about, do you understand if I wanted to wipe out the competition, all I'd have to do is dummy up some videos? The thing about it is that whether they're dummied up or not, the correct way of doing things is under the Father's justice. Only way of doing it. You don't take His judgment. That's just, believe me, it's the only way that it'll ever work. He has done this. Satan has done it for a reason. So he could laugh at the Father because he's the great accuser. Oh, see how many people I've converted to paganism. Look how many people I've turned to Satanism. Look how many people I've had to turn to this way and that way and this way and that way and that way and this way and other ways that doesn't even understand that I'm a snail. Understand that the Father has got this. I know you don't understand it because you can get enraged pretty quick. Hey, I feel you. I really do. But the Father put other things on my mind, other ways, okay? And this is the only way. You bring it back to faith. It's all about community. It's all about pulling people back together in love. Now you see what happened when love escaped, okay? Did it escape for good? No, it did not. Did it escape for a reason? Oh, yeah, plagues, famine. Do you think the Father didn't reprimand people? Do you think Father would let all this happen? No, He didn't want it to happen. But the people, this is your planet, okay? Your world that the Father had designed for you to live off of. Rabbits and squirrels. And only in faith and only by His word. But somehow everybody had to get hamstringed out of the deal. How do you hamstring yourself? Mammon, chasing after things that you're educated to. Okay, look, I guess that's the reason why I never was educated to the system. I didn't care. I mean, I did not ever want to be in a classroom. I was a straight DNF student. But you give me a test, I'll pass it with flying colors because I'll just read the book and then I'll pass the test. I'm not a stupid man by no means. But do you think I'm going to sit here all day when I can be out there playing in the weeds? That's the way I was. And that's how it was. But understand that, justice. You remember the Nuremberg trials. You remember how all that took place? Well, no, probably most of you don't. and that was even kind of before my time. But understand that how these things happen. Do you take somebody like Hitler that had a compassion or a compunctuality to get rid of the Jews? Okay? Look, makes no difference how you feel about people, individuals. That's not your deal. Your deal is to recognize and justify. Okay? Okay, that doesn't serve me. Okay? I don't want nothing to do with that. As it gets bigger and as it flourishes, if you're staying in a pattern with the faith of the Father, everything comes out in front of you. Okay? All of it comes out. Not just part of it, all of it does. And then you go, okay, I understand, Father. I understand that your will be done. And what happens? Well, evil arises. But the thing about the other part of it is, how many of you are like mind? Okay? The whole thing about the Father and the like mind part, it doesn't mean that everybody eats the same salad. Okay? Or drinks the same coffee. Everybody has a different appeal about it, but there's only one thing that he wanted to teach everybody: stay of like mind. Love me with all your heart, mind, and soul. That's exactly what that was all about. There was no two ways about it. Man goes where man goes. Look at Adam and Eve. Look at what they done. They cast sin upon us all the way through. Why? Temptation. Well, guess what? They say, well, it's all these people here and all these people there. Could be. Could be dummied up to take and turn your head the other way. Okay? Understand, whenever they're turning you to a direction, look the other way. Okay? Because that's what's happening. They're trying to change this system up under you so fast so you won't have any choice. Okay? They're going to try to crash the dollar through the bond market. It's simple enough. Understand how this happens. Everybody invested in Bitcoin. I'm invested. Okay? At the point in time, I'm just waiting for them to pull a pin and say, well, if you don't have this, you're not going to be able to buy. So, and guess what? I'll dump everything. Or I'll just walk away from it. Because I won't take it. I'm not taking the mark of the beast. But understand what's here. And guys, get upset all you want to. But you take it to prayer. You take it to the Father. He will tell you what to do. I mean, it's just this. I mean, I can't. You understand, you've walked this world so much and so long. Fathers, grandfathers knew more than what anybody knows today. Okay? The reason why, because it was simplistic. It's simple life. Walking in the Father's natural law. Okay? Birds, rabbits, squirrels. It's natural law. He didn't want all this for us. He didn't want it. Prosperity meant I got a whole new row of asparagus. Okay? Then I get to trade that for more grain. Or I get to trade that for more milk. Or I get to work with it. But people can't see past greed. Mammon. So, what do you get? You get blinders on because you want to make the money. Okay? You want to make the money. And look here. Don't have nothing against money. And you want to prosper, but you only prosper through the Father. You only get to keep it through the Father. If you're a good steward, you're a good person, you're tithing, you're doing your right thing, guess what? You're cool. You're cool with the Father. You may not spend maybe 1 or 2 days a week with Him. Or, you know what I'm saying? I got the Father on my lips 24/7. But the understanding of what that is and what's going on, the Father, and He just wants you to spend some time with Him, stay in the precepts, statutes, commandments, testimony. And guys, you're getting rambunctious, okay? Understand that justice is protecting yourself and protecting your loved ones, okay? If it happens, it happens. But understanding that, don't do it out of malice, because one going to Tartarus is better than two, okay? So understand that poking the soul when I said, hey, God loves you, that's the real truth. That is the whole truth. And just being a good person. Okay? Don't let Satan throw you under the bus. That's throwing yourself under the bus. That kind of thought is still throwing yourself under the bus. Okay? Don't think that I don't get the 15 or 1600 yard stare. Okay? I'm pretty good at it. But the thing about it is I had to give all that up because it's not my will. The Father's will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Okay? And most people, look, all you are most wonderful people in the world. You're children of God, the most high righteous and loved. He brung you here to put you here to live in peace and harmony. Still going to earn everything by the sweat of your brow. But the thing about it is, maybe it's not so hard. Maybe it's just normal life. Taking care of your family, taking care of your kids. But I understand. I work 7/12s, okay? If I wasn't working 7/12s, I wasn't working at all. So understand, you're not the only one that did it. I also did it. But I realized a long time ago about what's coming down the pike. And there's nothing I could do about it because you couldn't convince nobody of nothing. All it is run, chase money, run, chase money, run, chase money. And finally, it's hit the wall. What's coming? I don't know. But I got my back up and I feel like something's coming. But understand that when you chase after the Lord, your world grows in a whole different manner. Okay? No thought, no reaction, just everything's laid out in front of you. And I'm sure that you've been there and done that. You like to say about the new tires, or I need a new tailgate, or, I need a new door. And then all of a sudden you see it. Hey, there it is. Or the Father, you forgot all about asking the Father for it. Wow. Understand how this works. It works really simple. But you got to really understand that you got to spend time with Him. Understand that. But anyways, we're off that tear. Now let's go back to our Why Don't I Prosper, Father? One of part one. Okay. Treasure, feel yours. Okay. By me kings reign, and princes decree justice. Be me princes rule, or by me princes rule, and nobles, even all the judges of the earth. I love them that love me, and those that seek me early shall find me. Riches and honor are with me, ye durable riches and righteousness. My fruit is better than gold, ye than fine gold, and my revenue than choice silver, and my revenue than choice silver. I lead in the way of the righteous, in the midst of the paths of judgment, that I may cause those that love me to inherit substance, and I will fill their treasury. I know that, my family, I remember when Dad and them first started his welding shop, and well, I don't remember it. I wasn't here, wasn't born yet. But the point of it being is that the people that I've talked to and had been around had explained me how the times were, and what they'd done is they would barter back in the day to keep things running. James Welding Supply would pull up the house, come knock on the door. Oliver, you got any money? Yeah, I got some money. And then Dad have to have some welding rods to settle in and go over and get it. It's all on credit. And they would barter backwards and forwards with each other until they finally made it. But understand that that kind of living was the living you were supposed to have. Uh, Actually, before that, but everybody wanted to grow. What did they want to grow? They grew mammon, and so they infiltrated the dollar from gold. So they expanded and create 1,000 to 1 on $1 bill. That's why you're $127 trillion in debt. Okay? The understanding is there's no going back from this. This is going to fall to staves for sure. They're trying to get this debit. Uh, well, it's a debit system, but digital currencies up and running. The banks are starting to go along with it. Some of them are folding, but the point of it being is that what are they going to use and how they're going to use it and how they're going to use it against the people. If they can't keep control of the people, it's kind of like a king that can't control his people. Game of Thrones. There you go. That wasn't too great either. So, anyways, the other part, the part of that I may cause those that love me to inherit substance, and I will fill their treasury. Your treasuries in a lot of different ways. It's not also money. It's also health, wealth, are healthy and wealthy and wise. The point of wisdom. Once you gather wisdom, you pretty well got the system down. And the Father helped you get there. Now, everybody's doing this finance thing, everybody's doing this and that and the other. I was doing some exploration in there on 2 or 3 different companies I was wanting to start. And for some reason, I'm probably not going to get to start them because the Father don't like that very much. He wants me to do this, and something's up. So, guys, chosen ones, today is your spin cycle day. You're coming out on the other side. So feel it. Enjoy it. You're coming through 10 foot tall and bulletproof. So understand that you made it to the other side. So now your job, whatever it may be, is to help the people. Help all the people. In any way, shape, fashion, or form. That's your new job. It's my new job too. So anyhow, it's a great job. It really is. I'm having a really good time at it. Anyhow, there's one other thing. The Lord possessed me in the beginning of his way, before his works of old. I was set up for everlasting from the beginning, or ever the earth was. And I kept, I didn't find the verse until I just looked down to it. But the point of it was that you was a child of God before the earth was even made. The Lord possessed me in the beginning of his way, before his works of old. I was set up for everlasting from the beginning, or ever the earth was. The Father is always on point. So understand where we're standing today. We're being good people. We're doing exactly right. And we love the Father and we spend time with him. Precepts, statutes, commandments, testimonies. We find our feet. Once we find our feet, we walk through here the same as these people did. Then you get your balance. And then, guess what? You're grounded. Then you're really walking tall. Okay. Exhortation of obedience. For the merchandise of it is better than the merchandise of silver, and the gain thereof than fine gold. She is more precious than rubies, and all the things thou canst desire are not to be compared unto her. Lengthening of the days is in her right hand, and in her left hand riches and honor. and here we in her ways and our ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. She is the tree of life to them that lay hold upon her, and happy is everyone that retaineth her. That riches there is the riches of wisdom. Okay? Understanding how that balanced out. The point of happiness, everybody right now is just like this, okay? I was walking through the woods in Honobi, Oklahoma. My uncle killed a doe for camp meat. Okay, I was walking down the hill right behind him, but I stepped off path a little bit, about 3 or 4 foot from him, and I looked down, and there was a round piece of wood, about 12 inches big around. It looked like it had just been cut, and it was all the pretty colors all the way around. And this is midnight, and in the mountains of Honobi. Well, I started to reach down there and picked it up, and it was a covey of quail. All of them stuck together, went, whoo, you know. Well, understand that the Father, will give you that if you spend time with Him. And I've got it several times, and it's mind blowing. And look here, I've been through a lot of things, a lot of strange things, a lot of weird things, a lot of stuff that's happened to me. But understand that when you serve the Father, really want to serve Him, understand that that's the only way that it can be. You want your life to be right. You want your life to be okay. You want prosperity. The prosperity is in certain ways, and most of it's in wisdom. Because when you gain that, because the Father, He can pour out a 55-gallon drum of gold nuggets right there at your front door. But what would you look like after a week? Okay? You'd still be in there sitting on the couch binging on donuts and chocolate and scrolling and weighing about 200 pounds more. The Father knows exactly what's good for you. The point of it being is that you just walk right on by. Spend that time with Him. Spend it with Him. It's important right now. His grace is floating, and it's touching everybody. Because look here. I met that little gal up there today. I met that other gal out there. And how normal is that to go meet a pagan in Kentucky, and just meet up with one? And then how, like today, a girl just feels lighter because she doesn't want to work near as much. Okay? Look, it's floating everywhere. Take that time. Take an hour with Him and spend it with Him. And I promise you won't regret it. I guarantee you won't regret it. Anyhow, now, the wisdom part of prosperity. Okay, we got that. Now we're going to go cure the confession. Uh-oh. We got confessions going on here. Psalms. The prosperity of him who fears the Lord. Praise ye the Lord, the most high, righteous, and loved. Blessed is the man that feareth the Lord, the most high, righteous, and loved, that delegateth greatly in his commandments. His seed shall be mighty upon the earth. The generation of the upright shall be blessed. Wealth and riches shall be in his house, and his righteousness endureth forever. Unto the upright there ariseth light in the darkness. He is gracious and full of compassion and righteousness. A good man showeth favor and lendeth. He will guide his affairs with discretion. Surely he shall not be moved forever, and the righteous shall be in everlasting remembrance. He shall not be afraid of evil tidings. His heart is fixed, trusting in the Lord. His heart is established. He shall not be afraid until he sees his desire upon his enemies. The compassion of the Father. His seed shall be mighty upon the earth. The generation of the upright shall be blessed. Wealth and riches shall be in his house, and his righteousness endureth forever. And the other one was, he shall not be afraid of evil tidings. His heart is fixed and trusting in the Lord, the Most High, righteous and loved. The thing about it is that the fear of going out and doing something, the fear of trusting, and there's two types: trusting yourself, trusting the Father. You don't have enough trust in yourself. That's why you trust the Father. And if you want to go out and say you want to build the next space station, and you got a degree in playground functions, the Father's, he's going to go, hey, listen, I love you very much. Are you sure you want to do this? But understand that you trust the Father with everything, all of it, no matter what it would be. You start these things, you do these things, and you work with the Father. That's all it is. That's all it ever will be. So just understand that the fear that you have inside of you, you can do anything you want to do. Put your numbers down. Write it all down how you're going to do this. Which bank you're going to use, if you're going to use a bank. Maybe you're going to do it, you're going to self-fund. Maybe you're going to mortgage something. But understand the mortgage clause. Understand how you're going to repay that. Understand that, all these things. Look here, you just compounded a number of fears upon yourself because you're not sure that you can do it or want to do it. You can't go into that way. You have to take it to the Father. Saddle that horse first. Go through all the functions in your head on paper, and then bring it back to the Father. And then you get more in touch with the Father, and you're going to start seeing yourself actually doing it. You're going to see yourself up on stage. You're going to see yourself on the next shuttle mission. You're going to see, it's like fighter pilots, to become astronauts. I've seen so many fighter planes fail, and these guys still get up there and ride that rodeo, okay? But they have trust. They do. They have a lot of trust in what's been built around them. They know the avionics of it all, and that's the same thing as the Father. You spend time with the Father, you write your stuff down, you get it soaked into you. Go do it. Don't have any fear about it. Don't have any fear about failure. The thing about it is, the Father, if it's going to be good, he's going to bless it. But once you start doubting it, secondary, then guess what? It's going to be prolonged until you get secure with it. But make sure that you're secure with whatever you do when you go into it. You're in a spin cycle, like I was, and you're trying to fight through this yourself, and you're trying to do all this yourself. And then you try to explain to somebody else, and they're going to look like, okay, well, we need to do this 100-step program. Well, the 100-step program is with the Father, and it's with your precepts, statutes, commandments, testimonies. And I know a lot of people out there, don't believe in the same way as I do. But that's the only way. I mean, that's truly the only way that you ever get out of anything. You scream, Father, Jesus, whatever it may be. They're Johnny on the spot. They never leave you alone. You're not never casted alone ever. Did you do it in the flesh? Well, they're still there, but you're still going to have to go through whatever you did. I mean, what is it? What's it called? Truth and justice. That's just a simple fact. Then you say, I don't want to do that no more. And you go the other direction. That's the lesson learned. That's the armor you put on. That's God's armor. So understand as you keep walking along here and trying to do all these things you want to do, go do them. Do them all. But just make sure it's not in mammon, it's not out of greed, it's not in any kind of bad way. And you need to really realize that your footsteps is right there in that Bible. All of you. Not just one of you. Every one of you that's ever been in trouble, ever had a problem, ever going upside down and backwards, or walking in the uprightness of being honorable. People don't like honor nowadays. They don't like people standing in honor. Well, let's put it this way. That's tough. Because they have to have somebody to look up to. Somebody that's going to be the strong part of it. Kings, queens, empresses, emperors, princes and princesses. That's what you got to put on every day if that's what you want to do. You want to be that person to help. You want to be that person that has the knowledge to do things. Spend the time with the Father. He'll light you up. The Lord is high above all nations, and his glory above the heavens. Praise God. And that's the understanding. But understand, y'all are the most wonderful people in the world. It's really, I understand the principalities pushing on you. All these things are pushing on you. Hey, you need to sit down and figure out a way. I don't want this no more. I don't want that world no more. I don't want that stuff out there no more. You may have to do it until you get to your position of where you want to be at. Or maybe you want the big house on the hill. Go for it. It's not no big deal. But understand that the Father will gift anything to you in front of you and as you go towards it. Okay? It's what it is. Ain't no more, ain't no less. And the God is the very best. That's a pretty good rhyme. But understand that you are his children. He wants you to be children. He wants you to be wise children. He wants you to go out there and push your girlfriend on the swing. Now, don't be mischievous and push her out of the swing, okay? That's not what this is about. This is about enjoying life the best way you can and helping everybody you can and just being the best people you can be for the Father. Because, look, he's not going to accept lukewarm, okay? And everybody that thinks they're shot up with the Lord, look, don't mistake yourself, because if you have that kind of arrogance to be lukewarm, I don't want to be here with you whenever Armageddon comes. I might be anyways. I don't know what the Father's got laid out for me, but I'm going to do it, whatever it may be. But understand that arrogance, self-righteousness, that doesn't work. You're the same as I am, and I'm the same as you are. So we just want to be good people, do the right thing, help everybody you can. Keep an eye out for these old gals and old boys wandering around out there trying to take advantage of everybody, because it's going to get worse before it gets better. But like I said, when the demons and all these devils and all these people come around, I spot them right out of the crowd right then. And they can't stand being around me. And I don't know what Father done to me. Maybe I got the skunk smell or whatever it is on me, but I can tell you, you stay with him, he'll give you the same thing. You'll be able to see it just as it's coming. So understand he wants to spend time with you. Anyways, you got the grace of the Father in you. Okay? So you have the Father in you. Put Jesus on your lips, and you got legions of angels. And I mean legions. Anyways, I'm going to get off here. Had a wonderful day with you guys. Thanks. I appreciate it. I am servant. I am Pisces. Have a good one.